Welcome to What Living Means. I'm Vanessa Jasinski. As human beings, we all share 5 essential needs in order for us to thrive: food, water, clothing, sleep, and shelter. When just one of these needs isn't met, our survival is at stake. Families with children make up 30% of the homeless population in our country. Clayton and Family Promise have teamed up to provide transitional housing and create long-term solutions to help end this national crisis. In this episode, we're talking with Clayton's Ted Rutland and Sandy Minuitti of Family Promise about what it means for families and children experiencing homelessness to secure safe housing. So, can you provide us a little background on your role at Clayton? I know you do a ton of stuff there, but tell us what your focus is at Clayton.
Yeah, again, thanks for having me. So I'm the social responsibility program manager here. So for me, that means to get to work with a lot of our programs that fall under that umbrella. So that's our, some team member experience, volunteer program, giving back. And so that means working a lot with our philanthropy partners. And so I've worked with Family Promise since the beginning of the partnership since 2018. It's been incredible to see how it has grown from one family to now so many. So it's been an awesome partnership to be a part of.
That's awesome. Now, Sandy, thanks for joining too. So tell me a little bit about Family Promise. What is it? Where are you guys based out of, and what's your mission?
Yeah, so Family Promise is a national federated nonprofit, and our core mission is to help families at risk of experiencing homelessness and those that do fall into homelessness. So our core programming that began 30 years ago is to provide family shelter. So many times when families experience homelessness, dad and the sons go in one part of the program, mom and the daughters go in another, and so you're experiencing the most traumatic, difficult challenge of your life, and your family is split up. So we envisioned a program that would keep families together, that would be very individualized and holistic, and treat each family differently because they all come with different challenges. So what started in Summit, New Jersey, which is where I'm based in the national office, has now grown to 200 communities, and we continue to expand, and we're in 43 states. And with help from partners like Clayton, we've really grown our programming quite a bit, even in the last few years, to be much more expansive than just shelter.
Yeah, that's great. And so how did the partnership start with Clayton and Family Promise?
So I was privileged to be a part of our first home donation. So in 2018, I remember being on a call with one of our leadership saying, we really want to donate a home. We really want to give back. And so our team had the chance to go through, look at some different nonprofit partners, and Family Promise really stuck out with their mission, what they were wanting to do, and even the way that they go about treating and eliminating family homelessness. And so sparked our interest. We had a couple calls with them, found that there was some overlap in New Braunfels, Texas, and we donated our first home there. And then when we were, everyone's there, it's a big celebration. We took a lot of time getting to know Family Promise and getting to know their leadership, and it really seemed like a no-brainer as who we were going to partner. I think one thing that's really important with us when we do with Clayton, when they decide to partner with an organization, is can we develop an authentic partnership where our values and our mission align, and where it makes sense. And so we kind of hit right off the bat with Family Promise.
Yeah, I know you guys have recently done a project with Yes Communities. That's why the tie-in, and we have a home that's based in our Deerhurst community in North Carolina. So tell us a little bit about that experience. How's the family settling in?
Recently working there in Wake County with Deerhurst, working on these home donation events is always really fulfilling, because we get to work with our Clayton Home Center. We get to work with the Yes Community. We're working with the affiliate there, and all 3 of these entities are working as hard as they can to make an impact in the community. And you're getting the best of the best, because they really want to be involved and really want to make a difference. And big shout out to Lois and the community at Deerhurst, and then working there with Scott Ferris at Family Promise of Wake County, and then working with Darlene Lumpkin. Like, they all put it in together. And so we did have that event where we really got to celebrate, one, the hard work that went into putting a home on a piece of property, getting it ready, but then also celebrating what that Family Promise affiliate is doing in the area. We got to hear from a graduate speaker, which I think is really important because they tell us a little bit about their experience and their battles with family homelessness, what they've done to overcome. We hear a triumphant story, and then you really get inspired to you learn more about how we can get involved. What other ways can we evolve the partnership to help more families, and so it's the event and everything was awesome.
Yeah. And Sandy, can you tell me how you select these families? I mean, you hit the nail on the head with every family is different. Everybody's situation is different. So how do you select the family for the community, and give us a little background around, the families involved in Family Promise?
Yeah, so I'll take even a step back from there. Ted was talking about the authenticity that goes into our relationship, and that's really special. I've been in the nonprofit sector pretty much my whole career. That kind of alignment doesn't often happen, and when it does, it's really magical. And so when we started doing these home donations a few years back, we were focused on a particular family receiving that home ownership, right? That gift. And then Clayton came to us and we had this really open conversation about what else do we really need? And transitional housing is a key piece of the programs that we offer to the families that we serve. So when a family exits shelter, they're not always ready for full-time permanent home ownership of their own or renting on open market prices, right? Many times it's single moms that still need to work through some accreditation programming or finish a degree, and they just need another 6 to 18 months to finish that up so that they can go pay those market-based prices. So transitional housing is a key piece of the work that we do at affiliates across the country. And that's what happened here in Wake County. The mom is finishing up some degree work. Her family was able to move in before the holidays, and the kids, I heard, were super excited. And they kept talking about, that new house smell like you get with a new car. They were so excited. And she in particular has been working from home out of that transitional home. And she says that the Yes community is just great. She feels good that her kids are safe and that she enjoys working in that quiet environment. So a lot of thought process goes into how we select families, but it's really who we're working with at the time and what their needs are, and how we can best serve them.
Yeah, and it sounds like there's this educational sort of process along the way that you give them the tools to be successful, which I think is really important in this whole story, is that, you just don't send them out. And of course, the market right now is insanity in terms of pricing of homes, even rentals and things like that. So it's nice to hear that you're preparing them for that transition.
Yeah, we definitely want to see that they succeed and they're stable when they leave us. We do as much work as they want us to once they leave shelter. We'd love to stay in contact with them for years. And that was maybe one of the guests that Ted talked about speaking. We have former guests of the program that come back, donate, volunteer. They wind up working on our staff. So, the longer we can stay in touch with a family, the more that we can be their safety net, because we all hit crises, right? And we want to see that family remain stably housed. So it's critical. It's not, thanks for being in shelter, see ya. We don't operate that way. That's not our core model.
Yeah, very cool. Now, Ted, how many homes has Clayton done with Family Promise? And I'm sorry, I don't know if you have this number, but it sounds like you guys do quite a bit together.
Yeah, so we have donated 14 homes in total. So to date, we've donated 14 homes, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say it's our second time we've donated in a Yes community. We did one donation in the Houston Yes community, and both times, they talked about the transitional housing, how important community is to that, to that rehabilitation, to that case management, and just having a safe, stable place and feeling welcome. And each time, we hear great reports out of Houston, and it's good to hear the good reports coming out of Wake County.
Are you seeing, Sandy, just a greater need for this now than maybe more so than ever? The economy has been changing significantly. Are you seeing that there is more need now than ever before?
Yeah, definitely affordable housing is such a key issue. And every time I talk to a director at a different affiliate, they're like, Sandy, there's no affordable housing. I'm like, yep. Everybody's echoing that. It's a challenge. So one of the things that we do well is entrepreneurship, re-envisioning our programs. We work with landlords to develop those relationships so they're willing to work with our families when they exit shelter. But here's a scary statistic. 2.5 million children in America this year will experience homelessness. And if you think back to the Depression, it was only 2 million people in total, adults and children. Still a huge number, but that really shows you how much the crisis has really grown. And we really need to work together as a country to figure out some more solutions to affordable housing.
Is there a reason why maybe manufactured housing stood out, for Family Promise versus, even apartments? Or would you say that you're kind of gearing more towards the manufactured housing space?
I think manufactured housing is great. And, we do have an affiliate in Grand Rapids that's created a whole community of manufactured housing, and they really engage volunteers to help them maintain the park and work with the families. And so it can be really a beautiful situation when it's done well. Community is one of our core values, and this embodies it, right? And giving an affiliate control over a unit of manufactured housing is really powerful because then we have control over that, right?
Yeah.
We can put our families in, we can move them out. Whereas we're having to work with landlords, there's less control there.
So how many families do you actually help annually?
Yeah, we helped close to 200,000 individuals last year. So we're not a very cookie cutter bureaucratic type of nonprofit. We're not super top down. Each affiliate does programming a little bit differently in their community based on their needs and resources. So that was the most number of people that we've ever served in a year. And, we're on a trajectory to grow, but we still want to maintain that holistic, individualized approach. We don't want to just say, okay, these are the 3 things we do with the family, and then you move out. We really get to know the families. They really become part of community. And that's part of the success in our model, is because people don't often become homeless because they run out of money. It's because they ran out of people. So part of what we do is give them back community. So when they start to slip, they have people they can go to that will work with them and help them and mentor them.
It's great hearing that, because that's how we function as Yes communities. Everything's based around rec centers and gyms and common spaces so that people can get to know one another. So that is awesome. Now, how many Clayton homes are you thinking will be donated in this upcoming year or in the future, Ted?
Yeah, I think the home donation program really serves a couple purposes. It gives us an opportunity, one, to educate about manufactured housing. I think, it was really cool to see we donated a home here in Blount County, and I think all 3 of the families that have gone through that transitional program have then found a way to purchase, whether it be via rent to own or another way, a manufactured home. And so you're really opening eyes, like this is an option for what we're doing in affordable housing in America. And so I think we're looking at 2 more for this year, and then we plan to continue this program. And again, we look at a big footprint. What Family Promise affiliate? Where are the needs? Where does it make the most sense? Where is it gonna make an impact? And again, that's another area where we let Family Promise lead us and say, this is where we really think these are the right affiliates. This is who you need to work with. And so, trying to spread that out. But again, I'm excited again for 2023.
So tell us a little bit about these homes, like the one we had in Deerhurst. Tell us about that home specifically.
Yeah, so that one was a true elation. So it was built in our true facility, and that's one of our most attainable line of housing. And I think it's something that we're really proud of, is that you're delivering a quality product at a really attainable house. And outside of the cost of the home, you're also thinking about the energy efficiency inside that house. So, where it's built to the those Energy Star standards. And so you think about that monthly utility bill, like that also comes into play when you talk about families and attainable housing and how low that is, because of how it's built. This, the Ecobee thermostat, the Smart Comfort by Carrier heat unit, like all those things factor in, the windows all factor into, a low energy cost, low energy footprint on the home. And I think at these events, what's really awesome is to, we have board members that come, we have members of the media that come, other people that are outside maybe the manufactured housing industry, and it's always a moment of wow. It's like, wow, this is a beautiful house. This is going to be a fantastic place for this family to stay. And so you can just see those perceptions changing one by one and just opening more and more doors. And one thing manufactured housing can do for attainable housing, that affordable housing crisis, is produce inventory quicker. And so we're producing a quality home at a quicker rate that helps people live a more energy efficient lifestyle.
Yeah, and I think, Sandy, you would probably agree. You have a lot of these families And that's just it. Families, there's multiple people living in a home, where with manufactured housing, there is the ability to have 2-3 bedrooms in a home, and with an area where people could park their cars. You park your car, you go right into the house with your groceries. So it's probably easier, I would say, for families to have this type of a home.
Totally. And we've looked at over the years, how could we do tiny homes? And that just doesn't work with children. And oftentimes apartments, just for a single bedroom, it's so cost prohibitive. So yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's so important that we have this as a resource in our toolkit, because it is a great fit for families.
How do you get involved with Family Promise? You're talking about some local affiliates. Tell us more about ways listeners could even get involved with helping out.
Definitely volunteers are the backbone of our program. So pre-COVID, we had at least 200,000 volunteers a year that would work with our affiliates across the country. And that could be bringing lasagna one night to a family in the shelter and sharing a meal with them and providing that companionship that's so critical. Or it could be, hey, you work in HR and you want to come work with a family and a mom and help her improve her interview skills. So we offer all those opportunities all across the country. So you can go to familypromise.org, put in your zip code, and learn more about your local affiliate and how you can get involved. And I think even just if you're younger and you're great on social media, sharing some of these statistics, we help make that easier so that we can all bring awareness to this issue. And all those resources are accessible on our site.
Now, so Ted, tell me what else is in the future for Clayton? What else are you guys doing together? Are you going to put another home in another Yes communities? Because we hope so. We love it.
We're looking at our home donation map and looking at that overlay. We'd love to, again, partner with Yes. I think what's really exciting about us, so like our partnership, A Future Begins at Home, like we have, thinking about all that's attracted. So when we started this partnership, we understood that we were hoping to catalyze funding from other partners. We didn't want this just to be a Clayton Family Promise thing. We wanted a Future Begins at Home to be a everybody thing. And what we're really proud of is that it's attracted more than $4.3 million in funding from outside investors, outside, concerned partners. And, knowing that we've affected over 5,100 families, that's including 11,300 children. That's really exciting. And so when we think about this partnership, we get really pumped about the prevention side of it all. And like Sandy said, having those affiliates having the autonomy to understand their market, know what's happening in their areas, and use our funding. So the grants that we send out along with Family Promise, they can use that funding in the way that makes the most sense for their area. It might be, more landlord mediation. It might be more rental assistance or utility assistance, whatever it is. Like, we trust that Family Promise and their affiliates are going to use those funds in the right way, in the most effective way. And so I think when I think about the future, I just get really excited to see what other innovations are going to come from Family Promise affiliates across the country. What other ideas are they going to come up with to help solve this crisis? And then how can we get involved and help promote those efforts and see just the big difference that they're going to make?
Yeah. And how about you, Sandy? What for Family Promise? What's the future look like for you guys as well?
Yeah, I mean, to take a step back, before Clayton's investment in our prevention and diversion services, so taking families, meeting them where they are, and trying to prevent them from losing their housing and falling into shelter, that was kind of a new discipline program area for us. And so with their investment, we went from less than 40% affiliates offering that program to nearly 90%. So I really look forward to continuing to work with Clayton to invest in those programs, increase our efficiency so we can serve even more families, and continue to disseminate best practices across our network. Like Ted said, we see a lot of entrepreneurship and invention happening at the local level. And that's sort of part of our role as national entities, is to make sure everybody's aware and can adopt those best practices. So I really look forward to seeing us do more of that work and preventing the trauma of losing a family, losing their home, and having to experience shelter. That's the best way to start to tackle this crisis.
Thank you for listening to What Living Means. If you've enjoyed our show, please consider leaving us a rating or a review on your preferred podcast app. We'd really appreciate it. I'm Vanessa Jasinski, and I'll see you next time.